When the next recession satisfies and grocery prices spike another 30%, most families will do what they always do. They'll clip coupons, switch to store brands, buy cheaper cuts of meat. They'll absorb the pain and hope things get better. But a small percentage of families will walk right past the produce section, past the canned goods, past the checkout lines, and feel nothing. No stress, no budget panic, no dependence on a system designed to extract every dollar from their pockets. Those families won't need the grocery store because they grew the 6 crops that make supermarkets irrelevant. Here's what the food industry doesn't want you to understand. Grocery stores aren't designed to feed you efficiently. They're designed to profit from your dependence. Every item on those shelves has been marked up through layers of transportation, packaging, refrigeration, and retail margins. You're not paying for food, you're paying for a system. And when that system gets stressed by recession, inflation, or supply chain disruptions, you pay even more for even less. But there's another way. 6 specific crops, chosen not for variety or gourmet appeal, but for total nutritional coverage, can replace virtually everything you buy in the produce section and most of what you buy everywhere else. We're talking about crops that provide complete calories, complete protein, complete vitamins, and complete storage. Grow these 6 and the grocery store becomes optional, not supplementary. Optional. If you're watching this, you already sense that depending on corporate food systems during economic instability is a losing game. So here's the deal. Hit subscribe to Recession Roots right now, because by the time the next recession forces everyone to rethink their food budget, you'll already have these 6 crops producing. You won't be scrambling. You won't be panicking. You'll be walking past grocery stores like they don't exist, because for you, they won't need to. These crops work in growing zones 4 through 8, meaning most of North America. They're chosen because together they cover every nutritional base a human body needs. Let's start with number 6. Number 6. Potatoes, the calorie foundation that makes everything else possible. Before we talk about vitamins, protein, or variety, we need to talk about calories. Your body burns between 1,600 and 2,500 calories per day, depending on activity level. During a recession, when you might be doing physical labor, cutting firewood, or working multiple jobs, that number goes up. Without enough calories, nothing else matters. You can have all the vitamins in the world and still starve. Potatoes solve the calorie problem more efficiently than any other crop. 100 square feet of garden space produces 100 to 200 pounds of potatoes. That's between 30,000 and 60,000 calories from a single parking space-sized plot. No other common vegetable comes close. Beans produce protein, but far fewer calories per square foot. Squash stores well, but yields less. Potatoes are the foundation that makes a grocery-free life mathematically possible. But here's what makes potatoes specifically recession-proof. They store for 4 to 6 months in a cool, dark space with zero processing. No canning, no freezing, no electricity. You harvest in September and eat fresh potatoes through February, and they're nutritionally complete enough that humans can survive on them alone for extended periods. Not thrive, but survive. They contain protein, vitamin C, potassium, B vitamins, and fiber. During the Irish dependency on potatoes, families lived on almost nothing else for generations. Growing potatoes is forgiving and flexible. Plant seed pieces, cut chunks with 2 to 3 eyes each, 4 inches deep and 12 inches apart after last frost. As plants grow, hill soil around the stems to encourage more tubers. Harvest when plants flower and die back. Cure for 2 weeks in darkness before storage. Save your best potatoes each year for replanting. After year 1, you never buy seed potatoes again. The multiplication is exponential. Why it's on the list. Potatoes are the crop that makes grocery store independence mathematically achievable. Without a reliable calorie foundation, you're just supplementing your diet. With potatoes, you're replacing it. Number 5. Dry beans. The protein source that stores forever and costs nothing after year 1. You can survive on potatoes and squash for weeks, maybe months, but eventually, without protein, your body starts breaking down. muscle wastes. Immunity crashes. Wounds won't heal. Protein isn't optional for survival, and during a recession, meat prices spike first and highest. The families who thrive during economic hardship are the ones with plant-based protein sources that don't depend on feed costs, refrigeration, or slaughterhouses. Dry beans are 15 to 20% protein by weight. They store for 3 to 5 years in sealed containers at room temperature. They provide fiber, iron, and complex carbohydrates alongside that protein, and they grow vertically, meaning you can produce massive amounts in minimal space. One 6-foot trellis yields 15 to 20 pounds of dry beans per season. That's enough protein to supplement a family's diet for months, from about 2 square feet of ground. But here's the detail that makes beans genuinely recession-proof. The beans you eat are the beans you plant. There's no separate seed saving process. You harvest dried pods, shell out the beans, eat most of them, and keep back a couple of handfuls for next season. Your protein supply becomes permanently self-sustaining. You buy beans once, you never buy them again. Growing dry beans requires almost no effort. Plant climbing varieties, not bush types. Along a trellis or fence after last frost. They climb on their own. Water moderately. Harvest when pods are completely dry and brittle on the vine. Shell, store in airtight containers, and you're set. The entire process from planting to stored protein takes about 90 days. Why it's on the list. Protein is non-negotiable for human survival. Beans provide it without livestock, without refrigeration, without any ongoing costs. In a recession, where meat becomes a luxury, beans become a necessity that you control completely. Number 4. Winter squash. The vitamin powerhouse that stores through the hunger months. Calories and protein will keep you alive, but without vitamins, you'll develop deficiency diseases that were common a century ago and could easily return during prolonged economic hardship. Scurvy from lack of vitamin C, night blindness from lack of vitamin A, weakened immunity from lack of micronutrients. Winter squash solves the vitamin problem while also providing calories and storing without electricity through the months when nothing else is growing. One winter squash plant produces 4 to 6 squash averaging 3 pounds each. That's 12 to 18 pounds of nutrient-dense food per plant. Butternut squash delivers massive amounts of vitamin A, vitamin C, potassium, and fiber. It stores 4 to 6 months in a cool, dry location with zero processing. You harvest in September and eat fresh, vitamin-rich food through February, during exactly the months when grocery store produce is most expensive and lowest quality. You're eating from your own supply. Here's what makes winter squash specifically recession-proof. It fills the nutritional gap that potatoes and beans can't cover. Potatoes provide calories and some vitamins. Beans provide protein and fiber, but neither provides the vitamin A and antioxidants that winter squash delivers. Together, these 3 crops cover nearly every nutritional base. Add squash to potatoes and beans and you have a complete survival diet. Growing winter squash is simple. Use the mound method for drainage. Plant after last frost in full sun. Train vines up trellises to save ground space. Harvest when stems dry and skins resist puncture. Cure in sun for 10 days, then store in a cool, dry place. Save seeds from one squash for next year's entire planting. The seeds are also edible, packed with protein and healthy fats. Why it's on the list. Winter squash provides the vitamins that prevent deficiency diseases during extended periods of limited food variety. Combined with potatoes and beans, it completes the nutritional foundation that makes grocery stores unnecessary. Number 3. Cabbage. The fresh vegetable that lasts 6 months and ferments into medicine. Most fresh vegetables last days or weeks before spoiling. Cabbage lasts months. A head of cabbage stored in a root cellar or cool basement keeps 3 to 4 months with no processing at all. Late season storage varieties last 6 months. That alone makes cabbage valuable. But cabbage has another superpower that transforms it from mere storage crop to genuine survival infrastructure: fermentation. Sauerkraut requires only cabbage and salt, no special equipment, no heat processing, no electricity. Use shred cabbage, mix with 2% salt by weight, pack it into containers and wait 3 to 4 weeks. Beneficial bacteria do all the work. The result is a probiotic-rich food that lasts 6 months or more and provides vitamin C, digestive enzymes, and immune support during the exact months when fresh produce disappears. Here's why this matters for recession survival. During economic hardship, stress increases, nutrition decreases, immune systems weaken. Historically, populations suffering through hard times got sick not just from lack of food, but from lack of the specific nutrients and beneficial bacteria that fermented foods provide. Sauerkraut prevented scurvy on sailing ships. It can prevent nutritional collapse in your family. The yields make cabbage economically superior to buying. One cabbage plant produces a head weighing 5 to 15 pounds. A row of 10 cabbages gives 50 to 100 pounds of food. That's enough sauerkraut to provide vitamin C and probiotics all winter, from a space about 3 feet by 20 feet. At grocery store prices of $2 to $3 per pound for fresh cabbage and $6 to $8 per jar for quality sauerkraut, you're looking at hundreds of dollars of value from seeds costing $3. Growing cabbage requires some attention, but rewards heavily. Start seeds indoors 6 weeks before last frost. Transplant 18 inches apart in rich soil. They're heavy feeders, so add compost if available. Harvest when heads are firm. For longest storage, harvest late-season varieties after light frost. Why it's on the list. Cabbage provides fresh vegetables and fermented medicine through the winter months. It stores 2 ways, fresh and fermented, covering more of the year than any other single crop. It's the difference between surviving and thriving. Number 2, garlic. The crop that eliminates an entire grocery store aisle and heals while it grows. Most people think of garlic as a flavoring, a minor ingredient you buy without thinking. But garlic is actually one of the most economically and medicinally valuable crops you can grow. It replaces every allium purchase you'd make for an entire year. It stores 8 to 10 months without refrigeration. It provides genuine medicinal compounds that matter when healthcare becomes expensive or unavailable. And it multiplies so efficiently that you buy it exactly once in your life. Here's the multiplication math. 1 bulb of garlic contains 8 to 12 cloves. Each clove you plant becomes a new bulb, so 1 bulb becomes 10, 10 become 100, 100 become 1,000. You invest once and you have garlic forever. Not just enough for cooking, enough to completely eliminate every garlic, onion, and shallot purchase you'd otherwise make. But garlic provides more than flavor. Allicin, the compound released when garlic is crushed, has documented antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal properties. During a recession, when healthcare costs spike and access decreases, having medicinal crops isn't alternative medicine nonsense. It's practical risk management. Garlic won't replace antibiotics, but it's been used for thousands of years to fight infections, boost immunity, and improve circulation. Growing garlic is nearly impossible to mess up. In fall, 4 to 6 weeks before ground freezes, plant individual cloves pointy end up, 2 inches deep, 6 inches apart. Mulch heavily. Ignore it all winter. Harvest in midsummer when lower leaves brown. Cure for 2 weeks in a dry, shaded spot. Store in a cool, dark place. Why it's on the list. Garlic replaces an entire category of grocery store purchases, provides documented medicinal benefits, and multiplies so efficiently that a one-time investment produces lifetime returns. It's not just food, it's infrastructure. Number 1, leafy greens. The daily nutrition source that grows faster than you can eat it. Every other crop on this list stores for months. That's essential for recession-proofing your food supply. But humans need fresh food too. Enzymes, chlorophyll, and certain vitamins degrade in storage. The families who stay healthiest during hard times are the ones who have fresh greens available continuously, not just during the short summer harvest season. Leafy greens, specifically kale, chard, lettuce, and spinach, grown together, solve this problem through succession planting and season extension. Plant a short row every 2 weeks from early spring through late summer, and you never experience a gap in fresh produce. Add simple cold frames or row covers and you extend that harvest from March through December in most climates. Some greens, particularly kale and chard, survive hard frosts and provide fresh food even in winter. Here's the economic math that makes greens essential. At the grocery store, leafy greens cost $3 to $5 per container. Purchased 2 to 3 times per week, that's $400 to $600 per year for a family. Growing greens costs under $10 in seeds for an entire season and produces over 100 pounds of fresh food. The return on investment is 50 to 1 or better, but the real value isn't economic, it's nutritional. Fresh greens provide vitamins A, C, K, folate, calcium, iron, and fiber. They provide enzymes that aid digestion and chlorophyll that supports detoxification. During extended periods of eating stored foods, fresh greens are the difference between surviving and maintaining actual health. Growing greens is fast and forgiving. Most varieties mature in 30 to 60 days. They're cut and come again crops, meaning you harvest outer leaves while the plant keeps producing from the center. One planting gives months of continuous harvest. Save seeds from a few plants that bolt, and you never buy lettuce or kale seeds again. Why it's number 1. Leafy greens provide the fresh daily nutrition that stored crops can't deliver. They grow faster than any other vegetable, produce continuously for months, and cost almost nothing. They're the crop that transforms a survival garden into a complete food system. 6 crops. That's what it takes to make grocery stores irrelevant during a recession. Potatoes for calories, beans for protein, winter squash for vitamins and storage, cabbage for fresh vegetables and fermented medicine, garlic for flavor, medicine, and lifetime multiplication. Leafy greens for daily fresh nutrition. Together, these 6 crops cover every major nutritional category. Calories, protein, vitamins A and C, minerals, fiber, probiotics, fresh enzymes. You're not supplementing your grocery budget, you're replacing it. The grocery store becomes a place you visit for luxuries, not necessities. Coffee, chocolate, spices, not food. Here's your reality check. Growing 6 crops doesn't happen overnight. Each one has a learning curve. Each one takes a season to master. The families who will be walking past grocery stores during the next recession are the ones planting now, not the ones who wait until prices double again. The system wants you dependent. Grocery stores profit when you need them. Food corporations profit when you can't feed yourself. The entire structure is designed to keep you coming back, week after week, paycheck after paycheck, no matter how high prices climb. But you can opt out. 6 crops, 6 skills, 6 steps between you and complete food independence. Which crop are you planting first? Drop a comment and let the Recession Roots community know where you're starting. And if you're serious about making grocery stores optional before the next economic crisis hits, hit subscribe. This channel isn't about hobby gardening. It's about building the food systems that make you recession-proof, while everyone else stays dependent on a system designed to drain them dry.